We here at the Buckhorn Podcast would like to thank all of our listeners for an amazing nearly 80 episodes. But we regret to inform you that this is the end.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I'm Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What up, Randy?
Good afternoon. I had a thing. I almost said good morning.
I know.
Good afternoon.
It's weird.
It is middle of the day. We are at work. As far as our employers know.
Well, technically, I am working from home, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you are working right now.
And I'm on the road.
Yeah.
And we're all working.
We're all working.
I've got my work phone with me, so that counts.
That other voice you heard was DJ.
Yes.
What's up? What's up?
What's
DJ's
up?
back.
You on the
It's
mic
been
with the
a year.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ is
on the
back
mic.
in
DJ
the studio.
on the mic.
It's been about a year, a little over a year, actually.
He got no turntables and one microphone.
That's right.
Yeah, last year was a Christmas episode you were on.
We did, well, I did 5 with you guys last year. I did.
Was it 5?
Yeah, I did 2 sort of like right after Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving, and then we did 3 more right before Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
It might have been 3 and then 2.
Yeah.
It was only 2 days, but
Yeah, we knocked out a lot.
we talked about lawn jockeys.
Oh, yeah.
And like the heaviest is like the accidental heaviest podcast ever.
Yeah, it was.
And then we
went deep.
Got all these replies where people are like, I had no idea.
and then we talked about
Bunch of honky
supercars.
And we did.
We did Christmas music.
We did Christmas music.
Yeah.
I told some stories.
Yes.
I'm looking for Martelli.
Martelli.
Which one of you is Martelli?
Yeah.
I actually went back and re-listened to him, and I was laughing all over again. I was like, "This is pretty funny."
Those are
Yeah,
good
dude.
ones.
I wish you lived closer.
Me
Because
too.
we'd have you on 6 times this year, so.
Instead of once.
Instead of once, yeah, it's like the one time, and like waited till the very last day.
Right.
Literally, this is the
Yeah,
last
I
possible
messaged him
time.
yesterday, like, what are you doing tomorrow? Because, hey, if you want to drive really far, come be on our podcast. And he's back.
And
Yeah.
I was like,
DJ
yeah,
back.
That sounds good. I don't have.
We should just, I should just figure out a way to do this via the interwebs. I mean, we just have DJ on all the time.
We could
I've
do
got
that.
I was gonna say I would do it. I've got a snowball mic, and I've got.
can work it out.
I actually do a podcast with another friend of mine.
Oh, do you? What's the name of it?
Well, we haven't. He hasn't made it public
Oh,
yet.
okay.
We've only been doing sort of like shows for ourselves to then listen to them and see, like, if we think it's okay.
See, that makes no sense to me. That's like shooting a porno with your wife only for you two to watch. If you're not going to share it with everybody, what's the point?
I don't know how I feel about that one.
I was gonna say
No, is that not the okay?
not the best analogy.
Not the
I don't
same
think.
thing?
No.
But
Well, new year, new me.
so we're gonna start releasing it. It'll be mostly sports, but
Nice.
yeah,
Well,
what-
speaking of sports, the
we
Tim
do,
and
I'll let
Shipe
you guys
show.
know.
Yeah.
Shipe is in Ohio. Tim's in Florida. They do it
Yeah.
remotely.
And they do
so
it remotely. We can figure it. I mean, we're
We're just lazy.
so
It's
the
easy
way
enough
that,
to do calls.
the way that they do it is they use like Audacity. We use Audacity.
Yeah.
And each of us record. We're all on Skype together,
Right.
Yeah.
so we can hear each other. But then we've also got Audacity recording us in the background, and so he'll like clap.
Yep.
And then he has to like merge the tracks.
Yep, you do the clap method.
Yep.
We can actually just take and connect a.
It's better than the syphilis method.
I was gonna say, is that like the herp method?
It might be.
Somebody got the clap method.
Got the clap method. You can do it with snaps.
Why does that
like
sound
people
like
snap and
a rap album?
which one?
Clap Method
The clap method.
by Lil Uzi. Is that one
Yeah,
of
it's
the rappers?
by
like
2 Chainz.
like the crystal method.
By 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz.
No, but we can do. I mean, I can set it up so that I use one of my extra phones, get it, through the Wi-Fi, and just do like Google Chat or whatever.
All right, we can talk
Duo.
about this later. This is boring.
Nah,
Listeners
all right.
don't care.
but they do because if they want DJ, we can give them more DJ.
Speaking of DJ, shout out to Mo Dingo.
Mo's the man.
On my way here, he listened to one of our episodes and heard that I'd be moving soon and offered to drive
To help.
to help bring his truck to help me
Damn.
move. And that was, I
I think we can just get everything in a 30-foot truck.
Well, here's the thing. So for Christmas at my parents, a few years ago, it became like we do White Elephant because there was like 30-something people.
Right.
It got to where like half the gifts were gift cards.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, well, we're all just trading gift cards. So my uncle about 4 or 5 years ago goes, hey, how about we do this? From now on, any gift you put in has to be something you make or some kind of service you provide.
Yeah.
It could be a baked good. Like I forged a dinner triangle. Beth made some cookies to put with it. That was one of our gifts.
Okay.
So like it's just something you can do. Well, they run Como Restoration as part of the recovery program they do in Columbus. They work for Compassionate Outreach Ministries of Ohio, help recovering drug addicts, former felons stuff. They employ them. They help them learn how to money management and to get on their feet and really be contributing members of society. Well, the two of the gifts they put in, one of them included 2.25 hours of help with anything you want. Could be gardening, could be landscaping,
And
or
you
painting.
won.
Well, I won that, and then my cousin, who's part of it, gave me hers, which is 2.75 hours. So I have 5 hours of 8 or 9 young guys coming with a box truck.
And neck tattoos.
I don't care what they have. They can have face tattoos. They can come with their nipples cut out of their shirts.
What?
Eight or
I
nine young
am
guys
not
coming
moving.
in a box truck sounds like it needs a Brazzers logo.
Right.
I don't care. I'm literally going to go take that, put it in the truck, and then go there. That's okay. Get out of the truck, take it upstairs, take that downstairs. That goes in there.
If you label the boxes, you don't have to tell them where it goes.
Are they gonna?
I might do that.
Are you going to be riding in the box truck too?
Hopefully. Hopefully. I'll be the
This
one
is
little
turning
white
more
girl
into
on
a
the front.
bang bus
I
logo.
was going to say it sounds a little.
See, I had something all like heartwarming and touching and helpful, and you guys made it perverted.
It
I
is
would
cool.
never do such a thing.
I like the idea of like the white elephant barter.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where you're like
It's
trading actual valuable stuff as
Yeah.
opposed to.
Like last year, I put in one of my
Gift cards.
spike knives. That was one of my gifts.
I can't stand like everybody just giving each other gift cards. I can't stand that. I want to.
It's literally like taking a 20
Like, I want to give
you hand
something
me a 20.
exactly. It's like I want to give you something that is
Meaningful.
well, even if it's not meaningful, at least fun.
Yeah, well, it's
You know what I
true.
mean?
We
I did Rock'em Sock'em Robots one year.
Right.
It was
like
a
I
hit.
gave
Like,
somebody.
everyone wanted those.
Did you make them?
No, this was before we had that rule.
I asked for one year. For Christmas, I asked my cousin who drew my name because we kind of just trade names. I wanted a USB powered Nerf rocket launcher that I could sit on my desk at work and I could control it from my keyboard and shoot rockets at. And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because it's fun. It's $25. Like, what am I going to ask? We're adults. What am I going to ask you for this $25? It's
That I
going to
could've just
make
go
a
get
difference
myself.
in my life. Just give me
Membership to
something fun."
Pornhub.
Well,
He's already got like a 5-year plan.
and there's like
He just
already so
auto-renews.
much free content.
He's making his own.
Well, we do kind of the same thing. I mean, it's like Liz and her siblings all do, oh, we're going to do this. Or like they buy the same stuff for everybody. Like we do it with the kids. But her parents do a white elephant with gift cards for all the adult kids. So we lay them all out on the table. You go through, you pick a number, the whole white elephant thing. But it's from her parents to the adult kids.
Nice.
And we all fight over gift cards. It literally becomes yelling match every year.
I was going to say, it sounds like that's totally worth fighting over. That's,
I want that Amazon gift card. That's bullshit.
The $20 gift card, we get to fighting over it.
Yeah. So, how was your guys' Christmas?
Incredible.
Yeah, mine was wonderful.
It was great. It was very relaxing this year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we decided not to buy as many gifts for like extended family. And that just took pressure off. And it wasn't a money thing. We've done better financially this year than in years past, actually. But it was like you said, I want to get a gift that's meaningful, but it's hard to do for the $25 to $50 range. That's going to change another adult's life. Like, I can get you something I think is fun, but yeah. So we basically just said, hey, don't buy us anything. We're not going to buy you anything. And let's just buy stuff for the kids and have a good meal and play some games and hang out and have a good time. And we split up the holidays. We did Christmas Eve. We had a good church service. Didn't have to do anything afterwards like usual. Then Christmas morning went up to my grandparents, and then the evening her parents, and then the next day my parents. So it was really spread out.
Yeah.
Huck got a double ear infection Christmas Day. It really hit. That sucked. It was kind of a damper watching my 5-year-old by the end of the day just be done. But overall, yeah, it was good. What about you, DJ?
So I only really have one Christmas. My personal family is kind of like scattered to the wind, and so there's really not any family Christmas on my side. I gave my father his Christmas gifts like on the 10th, because like he's working in Minnesota right now, so I don't see him all that often.
I actually thought about you over Christmas. Like, if he comes down here to visit his family, don't hit me up. I'm gonna be mad.
Well, here I am.
No,
Yeah, he's here. Shut up,
enough.
Randy.
Fair enough,
man. So, and then, we went to, so like my wife's mom and dad and her brother and sister-in-law and her sister and brother-in-law all live in the same plot of land. So they've got like the Leskovac compound, right?
Yeah.
It's like the commune. And so, it's much easier, obviously, for us to just go down there. And it was mom and dad. They built their house this year, so it was the first time in their house.
They got like a David Koresh thing going on.
We had a nice Christmas, man. It was good. We,
Nice.
Jen and I got each other a few big things and then a whole bunch of small things, and it was really beautiful. And
You got her a big thing?
I did. I did. I'm moving her piano for her.
Oh, jeez. I hate pianos.
Well,
He's
so
Love to hear
African
pianos.
from the waist down
Right.
to just above the knee.
yeah.
What about the spike knives? Were those
Yeah, those
good
went
gifts?
out well.
I was like, I'm going to ask him. That way, if he says when they're like, no, they hated them, I'll just be like, well,
No, they were well received. And what's funny is that like one of my brother-in-law got me a knife too, so we were all just passing around sharp objects at Christmas.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was
that's a
pretty
great
nice.
Christmas.
That's good.
And then my father-in-law and my mother-in-law have their new house, and it's it's pretty rural. It's out there. They've got some land, got lots of varmints, and so my brother-in-law got my father-in-law a pellet gun.
Nice.
And this guy, so we've got this little nephew Cohen. He's I think 5 years old, and Cohen is weird about presents. Like he'll open a present, he'll have like 50 presents, but he'll open one present. And then he'll be like so excited that he'll tear that open and play with it for an hour and totally forget he's got 49 more presents to open.
Yeah, that's hot.
And so
That is not my
So
kids.
of course my father-in-law, the grump that he is sitting next to me, and he's like, "Cohen, we're going to be here forever unless you open your presents. You got to stop playing with these." And then he opens his new Red Ryder BB gun, right? And
With the compass and the stock.
yeah, and this goob's trying to like get the scope attached to it, and he breaks it, and he opens it up, and he fires it. Like there's no pellets in it, but he
Right.
like doesn't tell anybody he's going to do this. So all of a sudden, and my dog is there with us.
Nice.
And so he's like, bam! And we're all like, ah! And he's just sitting back there with this idiot grin on his face, and I'm like, and you're talking shit about Cohen.
Right.
The same thing.
Dude, guys are always kids. I don't care. You get us something fun to play with, we're going to play with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was, but it was really lovely. We had a meal. We were there for 5 or 6 hours. It was a good time. What about you, man?
Oh, you got a
So mine was relaxing. We obviously didn't go to Florida this year,
Right.
That we typically do. My sister went to New York and DC to be with her husband and took the kids up there. So we stayed here this year, and Harley got the flu. So
man.
Christmas Eve, Liz and Lexi went to her parents, her mom, and then her dad's, and Harley and I sat at home. And then Christmas Day, Liz and Lexi went to her mom's, and Harley and I sat at home.
Well,
And
I
the
don't
day
know.
after
Maybe
Christmas,
maybe that's relaxing. I don't know.
it was. I didn't do anything. I mean, the day after Christmas, the basement floods.
Yeah. I saw your post
And-
about cleaning the basement. I didn't know it flooded.
Yeah, Liz and I had decided, we're going to clean the basement after Christmas. Like after the first of the year, we'll go down. We're going to start.
Well, it
start
was
down
after
there.
Christmas.
It was literally the day after Christmas. We went down, and she said, "Let me run down and check something. Let's run to Hobby Lobby. Let's run to Lowe's. Let's go here. Let's go there." We get downstairs, and she's like,
Nope.
"Fudge."
Except that I didn't say
Except
fudge.
that she didn't say fudge.
I said the
There
queen
is-
mother of all Christmas.
Oh, I love that movie.
There was 2 inches of water throughout the entire basement. we don't use a mechanical float on our sump pump. We have a digital switch. And that digital switch failed after 7 years.
Made in China.
Does not matter.
Forgot to turn it on.
Right.
But it has a built-in alarm, and the alarm didn't go off either.
Well, apparently it has a built-in nothing then.
Yeah.
Well, I had to go buy another one, and I already contacted the company, and they're going to replace the switch, so they're going to send me a refund check once I
For
send
all
them
the
back.
crap you lost?
Oh,
I'd have been like, I lost $12,000 worth of stuff.
No, they're not liable for any of that.
I know.
But we didn't lose anything important, so we got rid of some furniture that needed to go.
Yeah, I like the tube TV out there
like
by the road.
So there's a big pile of shit just sitting at the end of the end of my driveway.
Yeah, I pulled in. I thought maybe you would hit the lottery or something.
No,
He's moving out.
Right.
Like the problem is Tuesday or over the weekend. It's like Sunday or Monday, whatever it was. I cleaned out this closet and got rid of all the shit that was in this closet, or half of it. And I took the trash down. Like, the trash guys don't come until usually later in the day. Mm-hmm. They showed up at 10, and I took the trash down at 10:20.
Oh.
So
womp womp.
There's more trash out there than what should be, but there's a ton of just waterlogged bullshit.
Well, now
and they're supposed to come today.
You're truly living the just rurally things lifestyle.
I am.
You should have just thrown it out in the yard, and where it lands, it lands. Mow around it.
So typically when we come south to visit anybody, we're either going straight down 23 or we're kind of driving through the country, and we go down by Ashley, like where Joe lives, on all that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's this road, and there's a little hill, and there's a house coming back up the hill, and it is the poster child. It is everything that is just rurally things. I mean, it's just the house is trashed. Toilets. There's a dog cage out front with like children's playthings in it. I mean, it is a mess.
That's called a fenced-in yard where I come from.
It is, yeah, it is a mess. And what's even funnier about this is that every Christmas these folks go all out. So there is lights everywhere. Like, they're advertising all of this shit in their yards. And then the very next house is like this ridiculously classy, very clean, creek through the yard. The person who lives here wears sport coats all the time.
Yeah.
Smokes a pipe. You know what I mean? Like, super. And I'm sitting there like, I bet they look at their neighbor's house constantly like, I wish these people would just like get hit by a meteor or something. Like,
yeah, but see, here's the thing:
set all of it on fire.
How much nicer does theirs look compared to it?
Way.
Like, that's the meme I made last night. I was sitting in my recliner and I got done watching Impractical Jokers on Hulu because I get on these streaks where I want to watch stuff that I don't have to think about.
Right.
Like, at late at night, the kids are in bed, I'm trying to get stuff done or whatever.
Right.
And I watched all the Impractical Jokers on Hulu, and I got into watching Hoarders. I've only seen an episode 2 of that previously, and I turned it on, I started watching it, gave me this idea, and I said my New Year's resolution is to start watching more of Hoarders in my 600-pound life. Because, like, I immediately feel like I live in a much cleaner place. Like, right. I feel like my house is immaculate, like a mansion, compared to what I see.
It's all about perspective.
And then I look at my 600-pound life, and the one episode I've watched all the way through, and I've only watched one, this lady was talking about how she wants to lose weight because her boyfriend loves her so much. He takes care of her and all this. And one of the things he had to do was sit her on the front porch, and they hung towels over the railing, and he would hose her off once a week, including her nether regions, because she couldn't reach things.
Ugh.
And I was like, well, I'm way overweight again, but I'm not that.
Right, yeah.
I'm not getting hosed down outside large yet. So
right.
I'm good there. But yeah, luckily, like where my folks live, the road they live on, everybody's got a pretty nice house. There were some neighbors that were down the street that rented a house that used to keep a couple dogs loose in the yard that always chase after you, and they'd always have a bunch of crap laying out. Well, they moved. So now, like, when you say just rurally things, what I picture is my parents' place, which is like really nice. Everything's real, well maintained. No houses on the couple, the road's probably 2 miles long, but nothing's falling apart. It's all nice. But when we go down to visit some extended family, we drive through Adams County. Mm-hmm. And in Adams County,
it's a little rugged.
Appalachia.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah,
it is definitely rougher. So, we've got a decent amount of that around Circleville. There are some people catty corner from us, basically on the block. Huck and I. So one of the things I like to do. I've been trying to walk more, get out of the house. When I get home. So I went and bought a 5-gallon bucket and a grabber claw. And I figured if I'm out walking, I might as well pick up trash.
Pick up trash, yeah.
Yeah. And it shows Huck, hey, we can clean. So he likes
You're a decent human being.
Trying, right? And I'm trying to raise my boys to be
decent human beings.
Better than the people that throw the trash out.
Exactly.
Like, we could just walk by it.
Right.
But while we're out, why not fill a 5-gallon bucket, dump it in the trash? And when it's full, it's full. I mean, we don't go out wearing shirts and make it a big deal. It's just, it is what it is. And I pick up a ton of cigarette butts. I haven't smoked cigarettes since I was, about 11 years now. Mm-hmm. But all these bottles, these cans, and there's one house on the other side of the block, and we usually cut through the alley. We didn't really go by this house, but when I drive by it, I'd see a lot of crap in the yard, and you can just tell they didn't take care of the place, and they've since been evicted. But last year we were walking by, and I was picking up trash on the sidewalk. It's a lot of wrappers. Some of it's been rained on, or it's been there a while. It's been crushed. And I picked up something, and I held it in what Huck calls a robot claw. That's why he likes using it.
Nice.
And it was a piece of, skull, it looked like bone. And I kind of stopped, and I was just like,
what's in the box?
Because it's right out in front on the sidewalk. So I was just standing there holding this 5-gallon Rural King bucket and my robot claw with my little boy on his scooter beside me, and I'm just looking like, okay, is this? It's curved weird. Is it human? Is it not? Did they put it here? Is it just randomly here? Did somebody drop it? And they've got a junkie van.
Is this part of a crime scene? Should I call?
Should I call somebody? And then I kind of just put it back where it was and walked a little more. And they had this flower bed full of different animal skulls and bones. It was just no flowers, a bunch of roots. But yeah, they had a cow skull and a deer skull and all these little, look like different rodents and stuff. And I was like, okay, still creepy and a little weird.
Right.
For somebody that's hey, do your thing. It's your property. You're not hurting me by decorating with animal bones.
Right.
It's a little Jeffrey Dahmerish.
Yeah.
So that was a little, and we've talked about before, you say rurally things. I say that's more white trash things.
Well, sure. And when I use the hashtag just rurally things, I'm obviously pointing out what I consider the negative aspects of the rural lifestyle. For instance, there's a place that I drive by all the time. It's right on the corner. It's just north of Ashley. It's right on the corner of 746 and 42, I think. Okay. And it's a double wide that's been there for a long time, and it's had a big garage attached to it, but it's got no siding.
On the double wide?
Yeah, or the big new garage.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's clearly it had it at some point, but then they sold it. I don't know it. And so it's just dark gray particle board, and so every time it rains, you can see that it's soaked, and I'm just
it's getting mildew and maybe
man,
mold.
How rough must it be that you felt like you had to sell the siding off of your house and still live in the house?
Yeah.
And that is, you can, I poke fun at the situation, but I'm sure that they didn't do that for no good reason. You know what I mean? So it's probably not a great situation, which is unfortunate, but if you drive by there and you're like, damn, they must, that's rough. It reminds me
of the place, and I think I mentioned in the episode we did a while back where I talked about my favorite funeral ever, but we're driving down basically this creek bed, and there's a Corvette sitting under a carport next to a trailer where half the trailer's touching the ground. It's broken half. It looks like the Titanic. Right. And most of the windows and even the front door are gone.
Torpedo.
Yeah. Most of the windows and the front door's gone, and I can see a dude sitting inside watching TV. And he's got a nice looking C4. No. It was a C5 Corvette. Now I didn't stop and look at it. I don't know if it's an automatic, but either way, it's a really, really clean looking C5 Corvette under a carport And you don't even have windows in his trailer.
That's the one where like he goes out to meet girls.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like, we got to go back to your place.
Like, I got
baby.
a hotel. I'm from out of town. I'm not from Kentucky.
It's like,
I'm from
I'm not taking
Ohio.
You back. Can't take back you my place, but if you want to get together,
Right. I got this room down at the Motel 8. That's 2 better than the 6.
that's right.
Like that's
right.
that's the premium rooms.
It's not quite the Linux or the AMC Easton, though. It's not the Hollywood. So, do you guys want to? You want to hear some stories, or
Yeah.
I want to hear some stories, but Randy and I have an old fashioned that we need to try.
Oh, yes.
And a Smooth Ambler.
I've been trying it the whole time. This whole
Well,
time.
I was leaving you out, but DJ has an old fashioned too.
Yeah, he got a mini old fashioned.
He got a mini
He's
one.
got a long drive home.
Yeah, you might as well put a nipple on any drink that you give to me. I'm
no.
just sipping on it for
No,
a
that's
long
smart.
That's what
It's-
old fashions are for.
Here's the
They're
thing:
for
it's
sipping.
New Year's Eve, and we are not condoning drinking and driving. You all, I know you're listening to this during your New Year's Eve party.
Right.
Definitely
Because
not
you
listening
are
to
Well,
this next week at
Sad,
work.
lonely people.
But
They can't listen
Uber
to it at
yourself
their New Year's,
home.
They can't listen to it during the New Year's Eve party
Why not?
because it doesn't come out until
Tonight at 9.
today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like, we got to finish recording and upload this thing.
Yeah. So
We waited too late.
My father-in-law got me. It was an Ohio pick. It is Smooth Ambler Single Barrel Select that Ohio did. It's 13 years.
Oh.
It's a good 13 years. Smooth Ambler's good. We've had them before. We had Contradiction and their other one. The Contradiction is the one that I can't think of it.
Their other one that left
That one's
such a
called-
lasting impression.
That one's
on me.
called dementia.
Yeah,
I can't remember it.
That's not a bad name for a liquor.
that's a
though.
good name. But this is 50%, 50.5%.
Okay, so 101.
So 101. I've only had it as an old fashioned. Haven't tried it straight yet.
So we're going to do straight and old fashioned here.
So we're gonna do them both.
A little sippy sip.
So there's the
Now that we're like half hour into this, let's get to
Smells
what
good.
the folks want.
smells really good. It smells.
I'm not a big bourbon
Very
drinker, but
ethanol.
it smells good.
Yeah, it's got a stronger smell.
got
It
a
smells
very
like you could
strong-
like clean a wound with it.
Right.
You definitely could.
That's the ethanol smell.
Right.
That's the alcohol.
Yeah, it's a stronger one for sure. Decent legs. Good
Yes.
amber collar.
It is strong.
That is strong.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's got the. This one is not one I'd recommend to a new.
I feel
No,
the
no,
blood
no.
rushing to my face.
This is I wouldn't recommend this.
This
if
would
you're
not be a
just
first
starting
time
out.
try.
I don't
Definitely not neat.
No, not neat.
I bet water would help this, which you're going for. I see. Water would definitely help this, calm it down a little.
So would simple syrup and orange juice and
Some bitters,
some other bitters and
Some bitters and
a
bitters.
big ass
ice.
ice cube.
I know you're
Maybe
down
a
in
cherry.
the NOS energy drink too.
That did
Yeah.
open it up some. Not a lot though. It's weird. So it's kind of. It has a like heavy taste of leather.
Yeah, it's more of an oaky
Yeah,
taste,
and
not so
very-
much the vanilla and the caramel. This is very oaky and earthy.
It's very It's almost. It's not like a Scotch, but
It's not terrible.
No,
but
it's not
definitely
terrible.
not something for a beginner.
That is proof that if you put alcohol in anything, white people will drink it because
Almost.
I'm over here like leather, wood. These are things that I don't
tobacco.
eat.
None of things I don't eat.
This is not
I do
something
not
I
eat
like. the
leather and
flavor.
wood.
I'll say it. I'll eat the leather off my shoes if
My
I'm
favorite
starving to
thing
death.
ever is how, and our longtime listeners remember DJ's our white black friend, but my favorite thing ever is when you say, this is proof that white people will eat anything, and I'm darker than you are right now.
It's true. It's true.
And your
Now,
face is turning
my,
red.
My
Oh, yeah.
bloodline is not as dark as yours.
Right. Well, you're darker than me all year long.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I actually tan. I don't think you even tan hardly.
If somebody came in here and looked at the three of us and you said one of these guys has black folk in their bloodline, they would all point at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pick out my hair. Get my
Yeah,
fro going.
exactly.
I saw actually that picture came up on Facebook the other day. I'm like,
My fro picture?
I'm like, oh, look at Randy.
Legit fro.
He's got a fro.
Nope.
So
I'm
we
probably
also
like
have
0.002% or something.
we also have this Manhattan. I do it every damn time. This old fashioned that I made. Now the old fashioned is using my orange recipe. So
Tasty.
it is simple syrup, bitters, orange bitters, some
orange
zest
juice, some
and
juice of an orange, right?
squeezed out of the
Not orange
Not
juice.
orange juice, but
Like
yeah.
people think we're mixing Tropicana
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, no,
we
it
use
is
Sunny D.
This is my Sunny D.
It's
old
orange
fashioned.
drink.
I'm gonna start calling it Sunny D, the Sunny D old fashioned.
You should actually call it the Cloudy D.
I know where you're going with that. And I'm not saying I don't like it, but I would have a hard time, like, if I went somewhere ordering a Cloudy D.
Can I get a Cloudy D?
Can I get anything with the D?
What is a Cloudy D? Well, it's an old fashioned.
Give me a couple hours, I'll show you.
So like, I like like a Moscow Mule, but like the Moscow Mule is the one that's made with vodka,
Russian's blood.
Ginger beer.
right?
vodka.
Exactly. Well, and so like you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get what they call a barnyard mule, which is made with whiskey, but they don't have a mule. If you want to make it with rum, if it's rum, it's called a dark and stormy,
Yeah.
which I can. Whenever I say it, I feel my wrist go, ugh. You know what I mean? So like somebody
man.
says, what do you want? And I'm like, a dark and stormy. And it's like I have to say it with a lisp.
I'd like it dark and stormy.
That's exactly right. It's exactly right.
Yeah,
But
I've
it's a-
heard the whiskey, especially when you're in Tennessee, or if you're predominantly using Jack Daniel's, how I see it's
Kentucky
called a
Mule.
Tennessee Mule.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's how you order in Tennessee. But I've heard Kentucky Mule. I've never had a dark and stormy. I'd be afraid to order that at most places and see what happened.
Well, they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
If you tell them I want a mule, but with rum, they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's easy. You're
Right.
swapping whiskey for rum.
So
or
we
vodka for rum.
So we use Grand Traverse. They've got a spice rum, and then they've got
Never had it.
like a silver, like a clear one that
Right.
tastes.
Ooh, I bet you that would go great with that Gay
delicious.
Mountain. Mount Gay.
Mount Gay.
Yeah.
Mount Gay's a really good clear rum. I'm telling you.
I wasn't sure if you were playing off my joke or what.
A little bit, but
We tried it about maybe 10 episodes or so ago, and
It
I
was-
surprised him with it, and I had him taste it before he tried
The
it.
fact that you didn't call
And,
it Mount Gay, but you called it that
Gay
would
Mountain.
go great with the Gay Mountain.
With the Gay Mountain.
Is that Brokeback
I was
Mountain?
gonna say he's over here like I've seen Brokeback, and I don't remember that scene.
no, it's a rum that's
Well, this
aged
particular
in whiskey
one-
barrels.
Yeah, this-
Alcoholics looking at their glass like, I wish I could quit you.
Mount Gay. It's a really good clear rum, but they also do one that's finished in whiskey barrels, and that's what I brought him to try, and he graded it as a whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he was like,
I
"This is
honestly
different,
thought
it's really
it was-
good." And I said, "This is rum," and he's like, "No way, it's really good."
I might have to try that.
What are we rating this one straight? Let's do it neat first.
Straight.
How many donuts?
Yeah,
gonna
out of
give
donuts.
it-
I'm like super happy that like my donut rating system stuck.
Oh yeah,
That's-
it's definitely stuck. It's
stuck.
been donuts
We-
since you were here.
We've modified it
I forgot
slightly.
you started that. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was when we were doing the Christmas music.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've modified it slightly to. It doesn't really mean anything. Like a 2 is still
That's
good.
not a modification
Well, no.
because nobody
It's
cares
never
about our
been
opinion.
But like
That's just a fact.
A 2 is
Hey,
2 is good.
Spoiler alert: none of this matters.
None of this matters. A 2 is good. Like
Two
So
is
is
like,
it like-
I wouldn't mind it.
So
I
you
wouldn't
guys
mind
like
it.
a 3 is like outstanding. So it's like the
Three is
the
one of those-
Michelin, like 3 stars.
Well,
Three's
three's
like
one
if
of
you
those
see
where
it
if
in
I
the
run
store,
out, I'll
pick it
go
up.
buy another bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out of state to get it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Like
4
4 to 5 is where I will send somebody. Like if you're out of state, buy me 3 bottles of this. Like
pick
it's
this up.
Gotcha.
elite.
All right. Must have. in
Yeah,
the collection.
like 4 to 5 range is it's our top tier, hard to get, our favorites. So like 2 to 3 is actually really good. It's like if I'm at a 2, that means I'd pay for it at that price point. A 3 is like, yeah, I'd go get it if I ran out. I'd replace it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Well,
When I come for these, I'm gonna have to start bringing some rum. We can
Yeah,
start doing
bring
some
rum.
tests.
We can do that.
we're
Because I like
alcoholics.
rum.
Yeah, we're not we're not opposed to it. This is just Martell. Just when we started, happens to have a
bourbon fetish.
plethora of bourbon and some whiskeys that that's just how it started.
Kind of rolled
We've
into
done
it.
we've done a few beers too.
We have.
Like we've
We
done
need
Outer
to-
Belt.
we
We've
need to-
formed a pretty good relationship with Outer Belt, which I see your new sticker on your laptop
And my shirt.
and your shirt. Like apparently you formed a better relationship than I have because I've got nothing from them. But
I had to buy this.
oh well, I don't
They
care
didn't
about that.
give it to me.
I got a free toboggan today.
There you go.
You did.
DJ
so,
gave me a steal.
so this back to the whiskey and
Yes.
the rating. I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
It's really good. I like it straight. Like,
What's the price point on that? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'll Google. Keep talking.
You may not be able to find it. This was an Ohio barrel
Like
purchase.
One at a time.
One
at a
time. A one-time deal. So you may be able to find the single barrel select, but it's not going to be the same that Ohio did a barrel pick on back in June. Okay. So it's probably, if I had to guess, $60.
Let me see that label again.
Looks like that. I'm going to give it a 2. It's hard to get. Like, it's not something that I've seen around Ohio. It was specific to Ohio. You had to get in line and get it. Because they did that, and they did another one called Big Wheat from Smooth Ambler as well.
So for that particular one, they have different iterations of it. That one is $70.
Okay.
Big Wheat sounds like some dude from Nebraska's nickname.
Big Perm.
That's one of those white rapper, cowboy rapper guys.
Like, what's up, Big Wheat?
Redneck rappers. Big Wheat.
If
Sounds
I can
like
talk for a second about Buckeye heartbreak, right, at the hands of
Are we going to get into this? 'Cause
Clemson.
I'm gonna cry.
No, look, I'm just going to take a minute to make fun of Dabo Swinney.
Okay, I'm all for that.
Well, just his
You can make
name.
fun of anybody you
his
want.
His name is Dabo. I don't know if that's like his actual given name, but the fact that like professionally he goes by Dabo is like, I mean, it's like it makes me think that he like his homies, like his 3 best friends, are named like Skeeter and Clem and Bubba. And you're just like,
I'm willing to bet you're right, and I'm willing to bet all 4 of them, that's their birth names.
and you're just like, Dabo? Like, is that really the... anyways, it's...
No, I'm with you on that.
I'm salty. I'm just
My favorite thing
fun.
about Dabo Swinney, here's the thing. He always tries to give shout-out to God and profess his faith. Cool, do your thing. But after that game, he basically said, I forget the exact line, and I quoted it elsewhere when I was chatting online, but he basically said, like, this was God's plan for us. Like, this was God's will. And I was like, yeah, God doesn't give a crap about football, dude.
Well, and like, it's really more like the SEC officiating crew's plan for you.
Yeah, it was.
We better stop because I'm going to go off on a tangent, man. I'm not happy. I hate to cry foul, and I hate to ever. It's one of the things everybody's like, well, if we got those 3 touchdowns instead of field goals, we won.
No shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're right.
that's true.
You're absolutely right. But also, if they had not overturned that one, which literally every other official at every level and every other professional analyst and every other fan of even of other teams said was ridiculous, they still would have won.
Right.
That was literally a game outcome changing play. But back to the Old Scout here. I'm giving this one a solid 2 as well. I wanted to give it a 2.5, but once I heard it was $70, it's one of those things I wouldn't mind buying once, but I don't know if I'd run back out to get it again.
Right.
I would buy if I'd never tried it. I might buy it and say, okay, I've got it. It would probably sit on my shelf. It'd be one of those mixing with an old fashioned or Manhattan. But I don't think I'd run out like this isn't something I'm looking to go get for myself now that I've had it.
You know, I don't know that I'm fit to like give a rating. This would be lower for me because
That's fine though.
Like it's extra.
Give your
like
rating.
if it's
We
more
like
than
other
like
opinions.
if it's an alcohol that's more than like 30-something%. I'm probably
like 80 proof's your normal
Yeah,
cap.
that's probably a little too strong for me. $70 seems expensive, and it's like I feel like with this, it's like the $70 has to do with the exclusivity and not so much the quality.
The $70 has to do with it's sat in a barrel for 13 years, so
Well, I
you're
was gonna say,
paying.
that's
Well,
the
yeah, that's what I
age.
mean.
You're
Like the
paying
rarity of it,
the
right?
tax
It's-
on it.
Yeah.
But Eagle Rare is at minimum a 10-year, and it's only $30.
Yeah.
Well, if you can find it.
If you can find it,
It should
But
be 30.
Still, it's only
So
like
what would you give it?
35
How many
bucks.
donuts? Honestly.
well, look, it makes a delicious.
Well, we're going to rate that
old-fashioned.
next. So just straight, which you were not a fan of. It seemed like.
No, it's too strong. I mean, it's like I'd probably give it a 1 star. I mean, it's not
One
garbage, but like or 1 donut. Yeah,
It's your rating system, and you already screwed it up.
I know. Well, I got it mixed up because it's like so exclusive.
That's his excuse.
I thought it
All
was
right.
Michelin for a second. I was like, call Gordon Ramsay's ass in here. And
So how coming here, dude? I would love to have Gordon Ramsay on an episode. It would never ever happen, and we will never in our lives get to that point. But
He
man,
would tell
how
us
much
we're the
fun
worst
would he be?
we're the worst podcast in
Just
the
to have
kitchen.
him sit there and talk about how dumb we are the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I would just give him a mic to tell us everything we're saying.
it would
is
take
dumb.
more than an hour.
We should Well,
we don't have that.
It's a
kind
good
of
thing
time.
this is open form, and we can go as long as
That's
we
right.
like.
That's
yeah.
right.
So what about in the old fashioned? Because I actually like it better in the old fashioned than neat.
Yeah, I thought
you
the
too.
old fashioned was delicious. This might be the best. When this is like half Brandon making it and half the whiskey, but
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah. Martell actually bought ingredients and implements to make these right. So
Right.
DJ even said when we were down there, like, wow, he's really making an old fashioned. Like he
Yeah,
said,
like-
I used to just put ingredients in the glass.
that's
and stir 'em
exactly
up.
and stir it up.
Like,
That's
yeah.
exactly.
You even use your finger, don't you?
No, I don't. Even.
'Cause you
We've
did
got
with
one
that
of those
motion.
little copper stirrer things.
I have a stir
Bar
spoon.
spoon.
I have a bar spoon, but I like them better shaken
Not stirred.
and not stirred. And it's not
right.
a Bond thing.
And that's
It's
just because he
it
likes
literally.
Pierce Brosnan.
Right, yeah.
It's his favorite Bond character.
No, Daniel Craig.
Actor.
I was going to
I'm
say
sorry.
he better not be.
That was the
Like I
joke.
lost all respect for you.
That was the joke.
I actually did a test. I took and I made two old fashions.
He let his daughters try him
I
and said, which do you prefer?
no, I did this when no one was home. I just made two small old fashions. One I shook and one I stirred.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the one that was shook.
I like
better.
the way you make them. I like the
Yeah, it was delicious.
shooken.
Shaken.
Not where I'm from. It's shooken.
Shooken. I shook in his hand.
Y'all want a shooken old
You
fashioned?
got shook nasty.
I would give it as an old fashioned. I'm going to give it a 2.5. This is something. If I ordered it like this, like you made it, I would order again easily.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty good. It's
this
not as
is,
good as the ginger.
No,
Virgin
the
Cane
ginger tops.
That's
When it comes to old fashioned, that ginger
This is
tops.
probably the best old fashioned I've had. To be totally honest with you,
I may
haven't
have to
had.
I may have to make you a mini
like a
ginger
taste
one.
where you get
Okay.
a sip.
Like
because
I'll make
that-
another one after we're done here, and let you try that. And
Okay.
I have to open another bottle of ginger because I'm out. I know, and that's my last bottle. It's got to last until
I'm out of breath. I can't do that again.
someone goes down south.
Wouldn't you
down
think
that
you're
cardio.
inhaling? Wouldn't you be like you're inhaling?
not-
It's full of breath. I got
I'm
too
full
much
of breath. I can't do that again.
But I'll make another one. I'll just make a small one.
All right.
Yeah, this
I'll
is
take
good. I'd
it.
give it.
You
I'm not
can
going to
try
give it like a 4 or 5,
Yeah,
but
this
this
is-
is definitely this is solid 2.5 for me.
Yep, me
mixed
too.
with an old fashioned. If I was out somewhere and they made it like this with this whiskey, I'd order it again.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
absolutely.
good.
I would order it again. I'm between 2.5 and 3. Like I like it as an old fashioned.
2.75.
We can't
try
do
to stick
two-
to halves. I know.
We try to stick to half. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2.5. I'm going to
Yeah.
go to the lower side.
Which, like we said, that's good. That
It's
means
good.
we like it and we would order it. It's just not something that knocks our socks off.
no,
It's not orgasmic.
No, not like that screwball last show.
That
with
was good, man.
Screwball and eggnog. It was like a peanut butter milkshake. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, you'd have loved it.
It was so good.
The ethnic half of you would
So
have been.
I had a drink. So my wife and I, one of our favorite places to go eat is called Yamato. It's a Japanese
yeah.
steakhouse in Marysville.
There's one of those
It's delicious.
in way southern Ohio by Kentucky, and that's why I've avoided it.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I
if
don't
it's,
know if they're the same.
I say I don't know.
It looks like tomato, but with a Y.
a family place, family owned place. But one of the they do all these drink specials, and one of those ones that they did was called the salted caramel, and it was salted caramel Kahlua,
Okay.
salted caramel vodka, and then a little bit of milk or cream, and then like they put like caramel around the edge of the cup. Oh my god!
See, now that sounds like something that I would want to order 10 of and not care what people call me as I drink, because it sounds amazing.
It
That
was
sounds great.
But it also sounds
delicious.
really frou-frou, but I don't care. I
Well,
would get it.
Here's the thing, man. Like, it's there are certain drinks that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna look frou, and you have to decide if you're secure enough in your manhood to go ahead and drink that and enjoy
Right.
it. Or
Put it in a pink cup. It
That's
says
right.
frou-frou, and I will drink it. I don't
I
care.
went
Well,
to
the other thing, too, I don't, you know this about me well. Martell knows it pretty well, but especially with our online banter, which is funny because DJ and I know each other in real life. We've known each other technically since like 2001-ish.
been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
And when we go back and forth online, it's so funny because we both know, like, in the end, we're friends. But there are certain things that we go back and forth on. Like,
Are you, though?
Well, like, I don't like black people. He's having no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But it's like the kid thing. Like, DJ has no intention of having kids. He hates bratty kids, and we go back and forth. And then I make fun of people who have pets and treat them like kids and call them fur babies and dress them up. Like, we go back and forth about different things. Where was I going with this?
I think
don't
you were
know.
going to say that
Martell threw me off.
there are other people that like see that interaction and they're like, man, DJ
Yeah.
and Randy are like having at it. And
Right.
me and him
And
are
the
like
thing is-
offline laughing at each other.
Yeah, we'll send each other private messages like like joking, but it seems like we're really going at each other. And I do this with other people too. And I will message them. Like Howard's a perfect example. Howard and I will be going back and forth with somebody, and then he'll text me like,
Howard.
"Dude, oh, I know you love him."
I haven't really liked Howard since the day I met him.
Yeah,
and that was about 20 years ago.
He's definitely an acquired taste.
But see, I don't remember Howard back then. I only know Howard from like the last 4 or 5 years.
He drove a Supra, didn't he?
He's got it.
Howard,
Still. It's back on the road.
Look, this is perfect. This is a perfect analogy. Howard, to me, is this whiskey, where it's like he's a smart guy. He's well educated.
Yeah. He is a professional troll that doesn't get paid.
He handles his business. You know what I mean? He's done well for himself. But by himself, I'm out. I'm not buying it. I don't want any, I'm not hanging out with him if it's just us. But in a drink, like the old fashioned, like if Eli's there and Miles and some other folks.
See, last time.
I'm like, okay, I can take a little Howard right now.
Actually, the only time I can remember hanging out with Howard was with Gurgles. We were at Derek's. He made a bunch of food, had a bunch of people over. Hey, if you want food, pitch in, tell me how many wings you want, whatever. Yeah. And there's a bunch of people there. I honestly, out of all the people we've ever talked about and all the old Columbus racing people, I don't know of many people that I don't care to hang out with in a group setting, in a fun setting.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I want to go have a lunch one-on-one with.
Oh, no.
True that.
But that's with, I could say that about my own family. Like, there are people that I just don't
There are people in this room.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to have lunch with myself. So... let alone everyone else.
Why is Randy forwarding me links as we're doing a podcast?
Because it's relevant to something you said. You'll get it later. Talking about ordering what drinks you are and being secure in your masculinity. Right. I sent a video to both of you. I literally got that message to me on the way here.
Sorry.
Clang.
Clang, clang. So professional. With your fancy new basement table.
That table came from my grandmother's. And it's a table, oh God.
It looks old.
It is.
It doesn't look as old as the space heater that's on it. This thing
that is
like
the heat giant.
Like this looks like this was like providing heat for the Manhattan Project.
It may have been. That space heater is easily.
That space heater's seen some things.
So when I was building the GTI, that space heater is what's heated my garage at the apartment.
Yeah, well, it says giant heat on it. I mean, it
produces heat. It's awesome. I love that thing.
You can't put that on there unless you actually are claiming some shit.
That thing's at least 15 to 17 years old. I don't remember when I got it.
That's crazy.
But that thing is old. But the table is like this old marble top table that God knows where it came from before, like my grandmother got it. I don't remember. But
I'm going to guess a table store.
I loved that table since I was like a child.
I've have my mom passed down to me what are the pieces of furniture called with the big mirror on them that you sit in front of and the
vanity?
Ladies, yeah,
vanity.
So I've got a whole vanity that's exactly this.
Oh,
same marble, same
decor
on it, same wood.
Maybe your mom and his grandmom. Maybe your mom is his grandmother's daughter, separated at like birth or something. I don't know. How would
more likely that they just made more than one set of it.
Right.
Oh, that could,
I would go with that. Maybe a little mass manufacturing.
There goes my. So Christmas is officially over. There goes all my hopes and dreams dashed.
Right.
I was trying for some magic. All right, so we rated our old fashions. You rated it?
Yeah. I gave it a 2.5.
2.5. So we're all about the same. Okay, so where are we at?
2.5. So
we're on to.
We've
are we
got
gonna plug this thing in? I see you looking at the outlet.
We've got one or two things we can do.
I have a feeling we're going to do them all and this is going to be mini episodes. Let's just be honest. You drove all the way down here.
Yeah, we should at least
We might as well get our time in.
Okay, well...
It's New Year's Eve. None of us are... I mean, we're all working.
For the next show. No, so... So with 2020 coming up, what are your New Year's resolutions? Do you have any? Do you even
Sleep with Barbara Waters.
Is she even alive still?
I don't know. I just know she was 2020,
Babs.
right?
Do you know that Barbara Walters is the same age as Martin Luther King Jr. would be if he was still alive?
Okay, first off, I love that you went historical figure 1, black historical figure 2.
She's also
like
the same
champion.
age. She's also the same age as Helen Keller would be.
I did not know that.
Let's throw in the disabilities too.
This is why I love DJ. So much smarter than I am.
All born in 1929.
Wow.
I just learned something.
Wow. I also just realized that my grandpa's almost the same age as all those people. He was born in 31, 32. Wow. No, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either. I learned
So
something
like,
new today.
I guess that's useful to some folks, but for you, if that's really your New Year's resolution,
sleep
you're
with
gonna
Martin Luther
you're going to have to
King
be
Jr.
careful.
Or Helen Keller. Got it.
That's you might do some damage.
No, my New Year's resolution and what?
Well, before you, the next part of that was, do you have one?
No.
Or do you even believe in that bullshit?
No.
Okay. Go ahead, DJ.
Not well. So no, I don't really. I mean, I like believe in it, quote unquote, air quotes. I think it's cool. Like if folks want to take the opportunity to,
I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week.
make it, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. If anything, like if you're going to take an opportunity to commit to being a better version of who you were last year, I'm for that. Whatever it takes to get people to do that, that's great. I'm really hoping that like later this year, like around the November space, America commits to being a better version of themselves than they were the past 4 years. So like any of that
Around
kind
the
of stuff.
November space. What happens in November, DJ?
Any of those kinds of things, I'm for. A lot of people use Christmas for that too. So I'm all good with that. I like that. That's like a Christmas present that you're giving to everybody else, and that's okay. I'm for that. Myself personally, I just try to do that like every morning when I wake up. But some folks,
I just try to get out of bed.
It's more difficult
What is
for
with people in the
so.
morning? You all wake up and try to be a better version of yourself, and you go work out, and you like get up and make your kids lunch and take care of them. I just tried to get to the shower without falling over.
Look, I didn't say I was working out or actually doing any work. I'm just saying that like I'm trying to be less of a douche than I was yesterday.
Hey,
Well, keep trying.
that is
little
my
bit,
New Year's resolution. And it's,
little bit at a time.
I was
It
going to say
started-
that was your resolution last year.
It didn't hold.
I remember having this conversation.
It didn't
Having
hold.
deja vu
No,
right now.
last year's resolution's for everybody else to be better, not myself.
No, I'm pretty sure that there was talk about
But-
like swearing less.
Oh no, that
didn't work.
That didn't work.
That was like me going to the gym more.
That was a new Monday's resolution.
Yeah.
That was great for about 37 hours.
Last
This-
Christmas,
and
I
I
gave
slept for
you my
12
resolution. The very next day, I forgot that shit and moved
Right.
on.
So this year I actually started like back in November, where I've just been nicer.
This year started in January.
Well, I know, but I started.
Martell was
I
a little
started
delayed.
in November
He's a
for
little
2020.
slow.
I started in November for 2020, where I was just going to be nicer and be more positive and upbeat about certain things.
I think you are outwardly more positive and upbeat, and you're nicer to people, but
And
you're
I
still
haven't-
curmudgeon inside.
And I haven't bitched about the weather,
That's
That's
true.
one thing that has
but
changed.
once. I did once. And that was it. And then after that, I'm like, I'm not going to complain about this anymore.
That's true. I remember that from last year too. That
Yeah.
you were just not going to.
Well, you can't control it.
well, and the weather's
unless
been
you move, but you can
it's-
control the weather here.
It's been pretty shit. I mean, for the most part, it's been relatively warm.
Christmas was 63 degrees.
Yeah.
like,
it
that
was
is-
I enjoyed that.
That's the way that works, though. Like, I mean, like, I complain the most about shit that I can't control because the shit that I can control, part of me realizes that's sort
That's
of my
me.
fault.
Yeah,
so,
it's
like,
your
why if I'm bitching about it, then I should just change it. So,
But-
like, I bitch about the referees in the Ohio State Clemson game. I don't bitch about the fact that J.K. Dobbins dropped 2 touchdown passes. Poor guy. Like,
Oh, and he's
Yeah.
not coming back next year either.
Well, no, why would he?
Why would he?
I
The
know.
guy broke Eddie George's records for most
so-
yardage. He needs to go. He can't help himself anymore. He needs to go. And I'm saying that not because I'm mad. I hate to lose him.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
just
yeah.
his stock's as high as it's going to
Oh,
get
yeah,
now.
absolutely.
I mean, a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, there's no.
So
he's definitely going.
anyway,
So for those that are doing resolutions, here are some tips to hold to those resolutions.
and none of the 3 people in this room
Are gonna
do
hold
this.
you
I was just saying,
But we're
so-
going to tell you how to make yourselves better people.
The first tip is don't take advice from folks who actually don't believe in the shit that they're telling you.
Right. So
Let us read you
So,
some
Randy.
fortune cookies and some horoscopes right now.
so don't listen to whatever Randy has to say.
Oh, that's great advice.
Right. So
And those of you
Always
that know me
good.
know that.
Always good
Right.
advice.
make your resolution obtainable.
That's smart.
Attainable.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be like, well, I'm going to make $10 million next year if you don't have any plan of action to do anything different than you're doing now.
Well, if you rob a bank,
Like I said, but that'd be
Several
doing
banks.
something different unless you're doing that now.
hold yourself accountable and
That's
let
hard.
others hold you accountable.
That's harder. Now, here's the thing. Holding yourself accountable is tough, but having accountability partners,
Yep.
that's hard, dude. Like, there's some
you
stuff
gotta-
in my life that I've asked close friends or family, like, hey, I need this to be a better person or a better father or husband, whatever. Check me on it. And it sucks when they do.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've got a handful of really close friends, and when I say handful, I've got big hands, but a few people that know my deepest, darkest secrets, where I hid the bodies, what I've done to
He's got little friends too, so
Yeah.
It's true.
Tiny.
But
Like Lego
it's hard for
miniatures.
those people to hear from those people, hey, you're effing up. Like, fix this. Like, I mean, at least for me, maybe it's just me.
And that
Fix
There
your
are
goes,
times in my
shit.
life where people come to you, where people come to me and go, hey, you've got some problems you need to work on.
and that concludes the G-rated portion of this.
Right.
I'm trying.
You're effing up.
Well, my mother listens, and she doesn't like Martelle's mouth.
Yeah. You be nice.
What's funny is when he was at my house for Pumpkin Show,
Wagging
my mom
the
came
finger.
out, and I said, watch what you say when she's here, and she looked at him and pointed her finger and just like winced.
Yep.
My mom loves it, though. She wouldn't ever
Good.
care. She's a sweetheart.
That's
She
all.
seriously,
We're just here to entertain. So here are some other
I
things
say
you can do.
effing,
I'm just going to.
but if you're with me on a roof when it's -4 below and I'm busting my knuckles, I might say something else. So my
So-
resolution is to only say effing on the podcast.
Oh, fuck.
That's the first time you even went
Yeah,
that far.
I tend to watch my mouth in public.
I'm like white trash in public.
My upbringing, when I say in public, for the masses, my upbringing was, it was an old joke, don't drink, smoke, or chew, or dance with girls that do. It was very much a
Oh, if I
white,
found a girl that chewed,
super conservative. Give me both them teeth. Let's share a spittoon. But
Gross.
it was very much watch what you say, and it was a matter of respect. It was a matter of the old conservative Christian way of setting yourself apart. Sailors and bikers cussed and had tattoos and all this. Obviously,
I come from both.
my mindset has changed. Your mom was an awful biking sailor.
My
your
dad was a biker. My grandfather was a sailor.
I just picture
Man,
your
it's
mom
hard
riding
to-
off a battleship on a Harley, full
it's like-
tattoos going.
Hard to ride a bike on a ship, man. It's moving all the time.
Carrier
but
just going round and round.
As I grew up and worked the jobs I have and the industries I've had and grew in my faith, I realized there's nothing in the Bible that says don't say these words, but it does talk about like offending others and being a prick, So I know
He
certain
said
people listen
prick.
to this.
You hear that, Sharon?
I did.
know.
She probably called me a prick.
That was
at
in
certain points.
Equestrians 2:11.
But there are
Yes.
things I would say if it was just you guys in the room.
Don't be a prick. And the Lord saith, verily,
saith.
do not be a prick.
I think that's the 19th commandment.
No, that's
it's
what
one of the ones
it was
that were
in, it was in
dropped.
Equestrians 2:11.
Oh, was it
Equestrians,
Equestrians? I need to go back to the Old Testament.
Centaurians.
But there are things like I would say around you guys in an open setting that because I know it doesn't bother you, it doesn't affect you, that I wouldn't say in front of grandma.
Right.
I don't
That's
know,
why-
man. You start talking about putting a lawn jockey out, I might get offended.
Next
Dude,
time you
I
come
saw
down,
a lawn
I'm gonna
jockey
have
for
one.
sale. Where were we? In Tennessee. Now, here's the thing. This trip to Gatlinburg, I took note. I saw one rebel flag on the back of a Jeep from Georgia, but in Tennessee itself, where you used to walk down Gatlinburg and see the rebel T-shirts, Heritage Not Hate, and all these country things, I saw far fewer rebel flags now than I recall in the past, which I honestly, I thought of you and I thought of some others and went, that's a good sign.
That's progress.
It is. But then I went to one of those places where they have like the Bigfoot feet and all the lawn ornaments, and I saw a black lawn jockey, and I thought of you, and I was so tempted to go kick it over. And be like, that's for DJ!
Fuck this lawn jockey.
Like, F this prick. But that was my first thought was like, and I'm walking with Beth, and it crossed my mind, and I kind of like chuckled, because I pictured you being there with me as a friend, and you being pasty white and just going over and roundhouse kicking that thing. There's only
This
one.
motherfucker
And-
right here.
and I just pictured you like sending that straight across their lot. But yeah, it was progress. It was nice for me to go, okay, I saw one lawn jockey in the whole state when I was there, and I saw fewer rebel flags, but
Right.
Where were we? New Year's resolutions.
I was talking about New Year's resolutions and how to hold to them.
Back to that.
Sorry.
Racist.
So we'll finish this out.
That's my fault. It's always the minority.
Keep a resolution chart.
A chart?
A chart. Chart it.
I don't keep track of
Make
anything.
it something you love.
Well, that's easy, though.
And
The resolutions are the hard stuff, like lose weight. Nobody loves to work hard and lose weight.
well, right. I mean,
Make it something I love. It's like my New Year's resolution is to not change a thing about me. I love that.
I'm going to
That's been
resolve
my
to have more
resolution
sex
for the
with my
past-
wife this year.
Hopefully she does. Hopefully she resolves to have more sex with you. Otherwise, it's going to be a conflict of interest.
I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we need to have your wife down next time. Okay, I'm not going there. Let's go. Let's
set
move
up
on.
set up mobile reminders and break it into steps.
Dude, I have trouble setting my mobile alarm to get up in the morning.
That's a you
I'm
problem.
going to set my mobile reminders and we're just going to be eating dinner. It's going to be like, bing. And I'm going to look at my wife like, you know what time it is.
Let's do this.
She's like, man, you said that thing for every half hour. Quit.
It's like, what? Look, I'm 41 years old. Let's be realistic. every half hour.
I said it every half hour. That's
every
what
6 hours.
I was going to say, man, I'm going to have to be at the pharmacist like every week.
You got them blue pills? Need them blue pills.
We call that being an optimist.
Say
Not an opportunist.
Somebody's going to be like, where are you going? I got to go see my dealer. Hey, man,
The
you holding?
pharmacy done cut you off.
Exactly.
They're looking at you like you didn't even look that old first off, and secondly,
Can you get
this is the
addicted
third
to
time
these?
this month.
Is this something? Is this a controlled substance?
You got me with blue powder under your nose.
My heart's over here like, stop.
Can't
Like
take
when the
it
commercial
anymore.
says you got to check and see if your heart is healthy enough for this, man. That's what they're talking about.
It's not.
And if you stay erect for more than 4 hours, please see a doctor.
This is a side story.
If that happened, I would call my doctor and be like, it's been 4 hours and I'm still hard. And he'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, yeah.
Word. Side story.
Calling him to brag.
I have a buddy who he got a little inebriated one night. This is not me. It's going to sound like this is one of those, my buddy. This
Asking
is really
for a
not
friend.
me.
For a friend.
This is a friend. I'm not asking for a friend. Sure. But he told us about it, and I lost it. He got inebriated one night and didn't realize he ordered a bunch of those Blue Chew pills. And he said when I woke up the next morning, like it had the whole thing he filled out still pulled up on his computer. And even though he was not this, he put that he was a 26-year-old athlete that was 6'1", $185, in the prime shape of his life. And when it came to, is your heart healthy enough? He said, I clicked yes. And thinking back, I remember thinking, it might be. I said, so what happened? He said, they came in the mail and I took some. And I said, and then what? And he said, well, I tell you what, even if you don't need them, get them. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. There's more to the story, but we'll leave it there.
All right. Let's shut
Him and
this
his
down.
wife enjoyed some alone time as a wonderfully married couple in the eyes of the Lord. So saith
All right.
Jesus.
Let's shut this down.
That's in Fallopians 524.
All right, let's shut this one down. We'll roll to the
Then
next.
we'll go to the next show. So check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Insta, Google, Tweetstagram.
You can send us an email at buckhornpodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to support the show, it is Brandon-Martell on Venmo.
Like hyphen?
Hyphen. I've been
thought it
saying dot.
People probably been trying to send us
Brandon
thousands of
Martell.
dollars.
Nope,
Somebody
it's-
at Brandon.Martell's been getting all our
Like,
money.
Well,
Where's all this
luckily
money coming
that
from?
account doesn't exist, but it's Brandon hyphen or dash Martell at
Brandon
on Venmo.
Hyman Martell.
Hyman.
Stick around for the next episode because I'm about to Martelli another story.
Oh, yeah, we got another story coming up.
All right.
I'm
so
excited for that.
Next week's episode, DJ tells more shit. Stories.
That's what he does. That's what
More
he
shit
does.
stories.
More shit.
That's
stories.
it. I'm out.
All right.
I'm not telling.
We're
them.
done. I'm Martell. He's Randy. And for DJ, we will talk to you later.
Peace.
Pinkies up.
Yeah, everything's real quiet in my headset. Like everything. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got Snasa just stuck in my ear holes. Oh, that's
Speaking of
yeah, that's good.
stuff getting stuck in your ear holes, like, the older we get, the more hair you have growing in your ear holes.
And other places.
And I trim that out because it's gross. And then today I'm walking and it's snowing up in Marion where I'm coming from. And as I'm walking, snow straight in my ear hole. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'd have left the hair there, I'd be safe. But now I've got hair. I've got snow in my ear.
You went against God's design for your body.
That's what I'm saying.
And you got Mother Nature straight in the ear hole.
He knew 40 years ago he was going to stick that snow right in your ear.
That one special flick.
That is why I don't trim the hair on my butthole.
I would hate to see the snowflake that could make its way there.
Penetrate them pants.